Good afternoon, students. Welcome to lattice theory live lecture. Last class, we have seen some properties of semi-modular lattice. So, in this lecture, we will show some characterization of semi-modular equivalence condition. Okay. So now, if you see last class, let me show that last class what we have discussed. So here, you can see that we have defined a semi-modular lattice and given some examples. Then we have proved Jordan-Holder chain condition. So if you want, you can write this. Is actually Jordan-Holder chain condition. What it says that if L is a lattice of finite length and semi-modular, then any two maximal chains have same length. So if you know one maximal chain of some length, then any maximal chain is of same length. Okay. So using this, we'll define a height of any element in a lattice. So first we define so let L be a lattice, of course with 0. Then for any A belongs to L, the height of A, denoted by h of A, okay, is the length of longest maximal chain. So whatever maximal chains are there, you take that, and among those maximal chains, you take the longest one in this 0 comma A. So you take this interval 0 comma A, okay. In that, you find out different maximal chains. Among that maximal chain, you take the longest maximal chain, or you can call it the maximum chain, and length of that one we define as h of A. Of course, if such maximal chain does not exist, then we define h of A as infinite. Okay, and h of A is infinite if no such chain exists. Okay, is definition clear? What is meant by h of A? That you can call it as height of A. So this height of A is nothing but you take the interval 0 comma A. In that interval, you find the longest maximal chain, and length of that one we define as h of A, and we define this as infinity if no such chain exists. Okay, fine. So if at all, you can say that if L given lattice is the lattice of finite length, then what can you say about what is meant by finite length? Huh? Whatever chain you take, it is of finite length, right? So definitely then h of A is either 0 or strictly finite, right? For every A belongs to N, right? So how we will relate this now for our theorem is that let for semi-modular. So let L be a lattice of finite length, then the following are equivalent. So T, F, A, E, you understood? T of A means the following are equivalent. The number one is L is semi-modular. L is semi-modular, and two is we give some textbooks they define this as definition for semi-modular. So what it says is that for A not equal to B, if A and B covers A meet B, then A join B covers A and B. Okay, is this statement clear? L is semi-modular is same as saying that whenever you have two different elements, if they cover their meet, then A join B covers A and B. Okay. Then the third one is if A is less than or equal to B, if you take any two elements, and C is a maximal chain, C is a maximal chain in the interval A comma B, then you consider this set, then you can call it, suppose X joins C, where X is in this chain, is a maximal chain in which interval? A joins C comma B joins C. That means by joining C to every element in that chain, you get a maximal chain in A joins C, B joins. Okay, and it is also equivalent to saying that now take height of A and height of B for any two elements is always bigger than or equal to h of meet and h of join. Okay, so this is the characterization of semi-modular. If any one of them is true, then all of the. Is statement clear? Whether you have any doubt? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir, here.
So whether you have any difficulty in understanding this statement, that L is
Yes,
semi-modular is same as saying that for two different elements, whenever A and B covers A meet B, then A join B covers A and B. And whenever you have a maximal chain in A comma B, then by adjoining C, you will get a maximal chain in A join C and B join. And similarly, sum of these heights of A and B is always greater than or equal to, in semi-modular, sum of heights of meet and join. Okay. Fine. So how we will prove this is the proof will, instead of proving 1 implies 2, 2 implies 3, 3 implies 4 and 4 implies 1, we prove the following. So we will prove that 2 implies 1, okay, and then we will prove 1 implies 3 and 3 implies 4, then 4 implies 2. So that shows that all are equivalent. So this is our idea. We will show that 2 implies 1, then 1 implies 3, 3 implies 4, 4 implies 2. Okay. So what is meant by saying showing that 2 implies 1? What we have to assume? Whenever you have two different elements, okay, and two elements covers their meet, then join also covers the individual element. And we want to show that L is semi-modular. What is meant by showing that L is semi-modular? What is the definition of semi-modular?
L satisfies UCC condition.
So whenever A is covered by B, then A join C is either equal to B join C, or A join C is covered by B join C. Okay. So we want to show that, start with, let A is covered by B. This is symbol for covered, you know already. Okay. And C is any element from that lattice. We want to show that A join C is either equal or, so if at all, if A join C is equal to B join C, then we are done, right? There is nothing to prove. So assume that A join C is not equal to B join C, and in this case we want to show that A join C is covered by B join C. Okay. Now you can, if they are not equal, then we can observe that this B is less than or equal to, B is not less than or equal to A join C. Why? Because if at all, if B is less than or equal to A join C, then uh, then B join C is of course less than or equal to, then B join C is also less than or equal to A join C, which is same as A join C. But because A is covered by B, we know that A join C is always less than or equal to B join C. So that shows that they are equal, but which is not. Okay. So therefore, B cannot be less than or equal to A join C. Right? And also, you take this A, because we'll try to produce an element between A and B, because A is covered by B, so it should be equal to one of them. Okay, so we have seen such type of things. So you can observe that you take A, then A is less than or equal to A join C, okay, meet B. Why it is true? Why it is true? Huh? Because A is already covered by B, so A is less than B, and also A is less than A join C, so therefore A is less than this one. And meet of any two elements is always less than or equal to each and every element. So A join C meet B is less than B. Okay, so it is actually like this. But we can observe that from this implies B is not less than or equal to A join C. So therefore this one cannot be equal to, since A is covered by B and A join C meet B is not equal to B, we get the only alternate is that A should be equal to A join C meet B. Whether you understood why this is not equal? Because if at all it is equal, then A join C should be bigger than B, which is not true here. Okay, so from this you are getting this. Is that clear? Huh? Yes or no? What is the
Yes, sir. Yes,
reason?
sir.
If A join
Yes,
C
sir.
meet B is equal to B, then obviously B should be the smaller than A join C, but which is not true by this one, right? So therefore they cannot be equal. It has to be strictly. And A is covered by B, so there should not be any element between A and B. So therefore A has to be equal to this element, right? Okay. Now you consider that shows that A is equal to A join C meet B. So our idea is, because remember what we want to show? We want to show that A join C is covered by B join C. Okay, by somehow using this second condition we have not yet used till now. Okay, so let you can call it 0, which is A naught, then A1. Okay, this is not A naught, and you can call it A. A, which is A naught, A1, and so on, An, okay, which is A join C, be a maximal chain. We are considering a maximal chain in the interval A comma A join C. So we are taking A and A join C, then we are taking a maximal chain in that, starting with A and ending with A join C. Okay. Now, because you can see here A is, because of it is a maximal chain, you cannot put any element between A and A1. So therefore you can observe the following. What we have here is, okay, so let me write here. So what we have here is A. Okay, so here we know that B already covers A, that is given to us. Okay, B covers A, so there is no element between A and B. Now this A1 also covers A naught, which is A. Okay, so A1 also covers. Why A1 covers A? Why there is no element between A1 and A? Can somebody tell? Why A1 covers A? Because of what?
It is maximal chain.
because of maximal chain. So if at all, because it is maximal, you cannot put any element between them. So therefore A1 also covers A. Right? Is this clear? Right? This implies this B and A1, okay, covers, and obviously what is the meet of this one? B meet A1, right? Because there is no element. This is the infimum. A is the infimum of B comma A1, right? A is the lower bound of B as well as A is the lower bound of A1. No other element is lower bound of for both. So therefore, A is actually B meet A1. So B and A1 covers A, okay, which is equal to B meet A1 by 2. What you can get? Huh? What is our second condition? Whenever two elements covers their meet, then join covers those elements. So from this, what we will get? By 2, we get, what you get? B join A1 covers B and A1, right? We get B join A1 covers A1 and B. We don't require B. This is sufficient. Okay. Is this clear? Is this step clear? Is this step clear or not? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Now you can do it same thing. In place of, we started with B and A1, we know that B also covers A and A1 also covers A, right? Okay. Now you see this one here. What you have here is A2, right? So A1 is covered by A2 and also covered by B join A1. Okay, right? Similarly, so what you can write now? Similarly, B join A1 and A2 covers, what is that? A1 is meet of these two elements or not? Covers A1, which is meet of these two elements. So therefore, what you will get by again second condition implies, implies join of these two elements. Okay, join of these two elements covers this, right? But what is that? What is join of these two elements? B join A1 join A2, but A1 is contained in A2, so therefore this is same as what? B join. Is this clear? So this implies B join A2, okay, covers A2. Is this clear? Now you can keep on doing this. So therefore by induction, what we can observe is that B join any AI covers AI. Is this clear? So at any stage you can keep on doing this because A3 covers A2, okay, and B join A2 covers A2. So therefore there B join A2 join A3, which is same as B join A3 covers A3 and so. Is this clear? So in particular, what is last one? B join AN, okay, because if you see this chain, it is up to AN. So B join AN covers what we get here? AN, right? So that means there is no element between B join AN and AN. But what is B join AN? B join, what is the value of AN? It is A join C, okay? So B join A join C covers AN, which is A join C, but because A is contained in B, A is less than B, so what is this? B join A is same as B join C covers A join C, and that is what we want to show. If A is covered by B, then we want to show that if they are not equal, A join C is covered by B join C. Is this clear? That proves 2 implies 1. Any problem? Huh? Yes or no? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we
Yes,
prove
sir.
that whenever L is semi-modular, then this is true. Okay? Or whenever this is true, then we prove that L is semi-modular. Of course, we can try that if L is semi-modular, so your exercise is, so you try to prove, and if you have any difficulty, you ask, prove that 1 implies 2. That means assume semi-modular condition. Okay, assume L is semi-modular and try to prove that take A and B such that A and B covers A meet B. Then show that A join B covers A and B. Okay, what you have to use? Use the definition of semi-modularity and given information that. So for this exercise, what you have here is, you know that A meet B is covered by A and A meet B is also covered by B. Then apply semi-modularity and see what you can get. What can you say about A joining? Okay. Fine. Now we go to 1 implies 3. Right? So what is 1 implies 3? What is meant by proving 1 implies 3? Assume that L is semi-modular. Try to prove that if A is less than or equal to B and C is a maximal chain, then we have a maximal chain in A join C, comma B join C. Okay. So we should consider up to what? A is less than or equal to B and C is a maximal chain in A, comma B. So let A is less than or equal to B and C be a maximal chain in A, comma B. Okay. Then we want to show that also start with, suppose C is any element in this, that is L. Then we want to show that for any X here, you have a maximal chain in A join C, comma B join C. How we do that? How we'll do that? Because so indeliberately we'll denote that maximal chain by let A which is equal to C naught, C1, okay, Cn which is equal to B is a maximal chain. So we have just denoted this one. Because of maximal chain, what we also observe that we can also observe that as C is maximal, each Ci is covered by Ci plus 1 or not? Each Ci is covered by Ci plus 1. Yes or no? Because one is less than the other, but by maximality you cannot have any element in between them. So therefore Ci is covered by Ci plus 1. Now apply 1 which is semi-modularity. What you will get? As L is semi-modular, what we get? By joining with this C. Okay. So for if necessary, if you want, you can call it this X naught, okay, X1 up to Xn. Then each Xi is covered by Xi plus 1. Now we are trying to join with this C. So what we get? Xi join C is either covered or equal to Xi plus 1 join. Okay. Is this clear? Yes or no? Now, if at all Xi join C equal to Xi plus 1 join C, then that set we represent only one time. In that set we represent only one time. So you write as X join C where X belongs to your chain C. Okay. So whatever they are equal, you consider only one time and the remaining all are different times. So therefore, because they are already covered, what we get here is a maximal chain in the interval A join C, comma B join C. Is this clear? Why this is a maximal chain? Why this is a maximal chain? Because now they are all different elements. So what you can observe here is that X1 join C is covered by X2 join C. So there is no element in between them. Therefore, that is obviously a maximal chain in A join C, comma B join C. Is this clear? Yes or no? We are not saying that each and every element is actually part of that chain. Some elements may be equal. Okay, so suppose assume that X1 join C is maybe equal to X2 join C. So at that time, you consider those two elements as one element. Okay, so whenever they are equal, you consider that as one element, and with remaining element, whatever you are going to get, it is actually a maximal chain. Is this clear? Hmm? Just for your understanding, I can write
Yes,
here.
sir.
So, for example, maybe it happened that x1 joins C, okay, is strictly less than x2 joins C, but x2 joins C may be equal to x3 joins C, but which is equal to like this, okay. So keep writing like this. Then you consider this as one element, okay. So after that, whatever you are going to get is actually a maximal chain because there are no elements in between because of this covering condition. Because of this covering condition, between these two elements, you cannot put any other element, right? That shows that this is a maximal chain, right? That proves 3. Is this clear? Yes or no? No? Whenever you have a chain in
Yes,
here,
sir.
and if it is a semi-modular, then you have a chain here, right? Okay. Now, what is we have to prove? 3 implies 4. So we'll show that 3 implies 4. But we first show that if 3 is true, then it is actually semi-modular. Okay. So whenever condition 3 is true, we want to show that it is semi-modular. What is meant by semi-modular? To show semi-modular, so first we show that if 3 holds, then L is actually semi-modular. Why it is semi-modular? So why it is true? Let A is covered by B and C is any element. We want to show that A join C is either equal or, okay, A join C is equal to B join C, or it is actually covered by this, right? So we also assume that A join C is not equal to B join C. Then we want to show that A join C is covered by B join C, right? Now how you apply 3? What 3 says? Whenever you have a maximal chain in the interval A comma B, then you have a maximal chain in A join C comma B join C. Okay. Now because A is covered by B, okay. So A is covered by B. If I take A comma B, what will be the maximal chain? Can you give the maximal chain? Huh? Because you cannot put any element in between this. So this A is A less than B. This is itself is maximal, right? In this interval, then by 3, what we get? A joins C, okay, comma B joins C, okay, is by 3 is a maximal chain in where A joins C, comma B joins C. Is this clear? When what that says? Whenever you have a chain in A comma B, then you have a chain in A join C, comma B join C for any C, right? Because A is covered by B, obviously what is the maximal chain? This A, then B. This chain containing only these two elements is obviously a maximal chain. So therefore A join C comma B join C is a maximal chain in this interval because they are two different elements, right? This means A join C is covered by B join C. There is no, you cannot put any element in between them. That shows that A join C is covered by B join C. So therefore L is semi-modular. Is this clear? Any problem? Huh? Whenever 3 is satisfied, then also we prove that L is semi-modular. Of course, we want to show that 3 implies 4. What we have shown is 3 implies 1. Okay, fine. Now, what is fourth one? For any two elements A and B, h of A plus h of B should be greater than or equal to h of A meet B plus h of A join B, that we want to show. Okay, so start with let A and B are any two elements of the line. Then for height, we have to get that relation. Okay, so what we do is, because our L is semi-modular, so our L is a semi-modular. So yesterday what we have proved in last class? In last class we proved that in a semi-modular lattice, any two maximal chains if we take, then they are of same length. So if we know one maximal chain of a finite length, some length, then we know that every other maximal chain is of same length. That we will apply here. Okay, so we can assume that Jordan chain condition, Jordan Holder chain condition true for this chain. Okay, fine. Now consider the interval a comma or a meet b comma b. Okay, consider this interval a meet b. So we'll try to get some maximal chain here. Okay, a meet b comma b. Right. So let C be a maximal chain in a meet b comma b denoted by, so we'll try to denote, you can call it C naught, which is a meet b, then C1, C2 up to Cn, which is b. Okay, so we have taken a maximal chain in b. What is h of any element? How we have defined h of an element? If you see here, h of an element is defined as, you consider the interval 0 comma a, you take the longest possible maximal chain. But because in a semi-modular, it is enough if you know one maximal chain, because all other maximal chains are of same length. Okay, so if we can get a maximal chain in 0 comma a, then we know the value of h of, right? Okay. Now go back here. Here it is not starting from 0 to b. If you know starting from 0 to b, then we know that h of b value. Okay, so what we do is, we will take another interval. Okay, so you can call it some c prime be a maximal chain in 0 comma a meet b. Then you can get something from 0 to b also. Okay, let c prime be a maximal chain in 0 comma a meet b, again denoted by, suppose I will call it some c naught prime, which is equal to 0, then c1 prime, c2 prime up to some cm prime, which is equal to a meet b. Okay, right? So if these two are maximal chains, now can you give me a maximal chain in 0 comma b? Huh? Can you give a maximal chain in 0 comma b? Because this is a maximal chain in 0 comma a meet b, and this first one is a maximal chain in a meet b comma b. So if you combine these two, you will get a maximal chain in 0 comma b or not? What is that? Huh? C naught prime, which is equal to 0, then C1 prime up to Cm prime, which is same as a meet b, of course, which is same as C naught. Okay, then C1 up to Cn, which is equal to b. This is a maximal chain. Yes or no? Is a maximal chain in the interval 0 comma b. Right? Is this clear? Huh? This one is a maximal chain in 0 comma b or not?
Yes,
Huh?
sir.
Yes? Yes or no? Huh. Now, because it is a maximal chain, so therefore this is nothing but length of this one is h of a meet b, right? So therefore, what I will write here is, if you consider this part, this much part, this is same as what? Because it is a maximal chain in 0 comma a meet b, this is same as h of a meet b or not? Huh? This is h of a meet b. So what I will write here is h of b, which is this entire thing. This is the h of b. Okay, which is equal to h of a meet b plus, what is the value of this much? Huh? That is nothing but the length of the chain or not? What is this one? Length of this chain, right? L of c you can write. So I'll write this as L of c. So length of your chain C is this. Okay, from a meet b to d, this is nothing but L of c. So therefore, height of B is nothing but height of A meet B plus L of C, or you can write L of C is equal to H of B minus H of A meet. Whether you understood this step? Yes or no? We have considered a maximal chain in A meet B comma B, then we have derived that length of that chain C is H of B minus H of A meet B. Is this clear? Okay. Now, for you take this, you have a chain, maximal chain in this one, okay, and we are trying to prove 3 implies 4. What is meant by 3? 3 says that whenever you have a maximal chain, C is a maximal chain in some interval, then by joining any other element, you get a maximal chain in this way, right? So go back here. Now see that this is a maximal chain in this interval. Now I will add some special interval. I will add some element to this. You get a maximal chain, okay? Right? For that, what we require is, as A meet B is less than or equal to A, okay, by 3, we get a maximal chain D, which is nothing but what? This, for every C, you join that element A. So I can write X join A, where X is in that C. Okay, we get a maximal chain in which interval? Which interval? This is A meet B, so then join with A. So A meet B, join with A, comma, another endpoint is what? B, so you join with that.
B.
Okay, is this clear? Or B join A, if you have any difficulty, you write B join E. But what is this interval? This is same as, what is A meet B join A? Huh? Alright, A meet B join A is what? Value of A, right? And this is A join B. So we got therefore D is a maximal chain in this interval A comma A join B. So if you observe this one, what we have proved, whenever you have a maximal chain in an interval, any interval, whatever it may be, then what is that length of that C? Length of that chain is H of B minus, that means difference of heights of those endpoints. Right? So now you also have another chain. D is a maximal chain, right? D is a maximal chain in the interval A comma A join B. So therefore, what can you say about length of D? Can somebody tell? Whatever we have applied here, C is a maximal chain in the interval. So therefore, length of C is this. Now D is a maximal chain in this interval. So therefore, what can you say about length of D? Huh? In terms of height, is difference of heights of those endpoints. So therefore, what you will get here? Huh? Your D is a maximal chain in this interval. So therefore, what can you say about length of D by as ever whatever we did here? Huh? This much also you can't tell?
H of A join B minus H of A.
Very good. So this is H of A join B minus H of B. Is this clear? Now, what is relation between C, length of this C and length of D? No? If you see here some example we have written here, this is a chain in D, right? By joining that term. So after joining, we may see that some elements may be equal. So some length of the chain decreases or not? Huh? If you take this C and after joining, whatever you are getting a maximal chain, what can you say about length of C and length of D? Which is bigger? Huh? Length of C and length of D we are getting after joining, right? So some points may be equal, so therefore that length may decrease. Just like we have written in example here, obviously here those two elements are actually equal, so obviously length of this chain decreases, right? Or it may be equal. So therefore length of C is greater than or equal to length of D. That shows that H of, what is length of C value? H of B minus H of A intersection B is bigger than or equal to H of A join B minus h of a. So if we rewrite, h of a plus h of b is greater than or equal to h of a meet b plus h of a join b, and that is what we want to prove for fourth one, right? So we proved 2 implies 1, 1 implies 3, and 3 implies 4. What is last one? We want to show that 4 implies 2. Okay, 4 implies 2. Fine. So we want to show that 4 implies 2. So let's have. So we prove this one. So clearly, 2 holes in this 0 lattice. Okay, all elements less than or equal to 0, you have only one element, right? So obviously, if you have only one element, this condition 2 is obviously true. Okay, so we'll assume, we'll try to apply induction. So assume 2 holes in this lattice. Okay, or you can call it here y, for every y less than x, where x is any element in M. Okay, so this we are doing it by induction. So what is meaning of this? Clearly, in this lattice, obviously containing 0, 2 is whole. So we are trying to prove that it is true for any x. Okay, lattice x, or you can call it ideal. So for that, assume that for any y, it is true for y less than x, and our claim is, we want to show that 2 holes in x also. Okay, because for any y less than x we are assuming, and then we want to prove that for that x also it is true. Is this clear what we are going to prove? Because main part is what is given and how we are approaching, that is most important. Okay, then of course we will prove it for any L also. Once we prove these 2 holes in x, obviously that's the condition follows, right? So if we want to show that 2 holes in x, what is meant by that? Our L is x here. Okay, that ideal x. So take any 2 elements, different elements in x, such that a meet b covers a and b covers a meet b. Then we want to show that a join b covers a meet b also. Okay, fine. Now let a comma b belongs to x. Okay, with a not equal to b. Then we can observe that a and b are actually strictly less than x. They cannot be equal. Okay, such that this a and b cover a meet b, that we are assuming. We want to show that, okay, a join b covers a and b also. Okay, now using this, a is less than x, we get, this implies 2 holes in this ideal A or sublattice A, because of our assumption for any y less than x, this is true, right? This implies, we already proved that 2 implies 1, so this implies this A is semi-modular. 1 means semi-modular, so therefore this L, in particular L is A, here is semi-modular. Okay, so because it is semi-modular, we can have the condition in terms of A meet B covering condition, we can have upper covering condition. Okay, now as this A meet B is covered by A, because here we have assumed that, right? A meet B is covered by A, and A is semi-modular. What you will get? What we can get here? How we will use that? This A is semi-modular and A meet B is here. So what you know is, there are no elements between A meet B and A. This implies H of A okay, minus height of this one is equal to 1 or not? Height of A minus height of A minus B is equal to 1 or not? There is no element between A meet B and A. So whatever maximal chain we get in A meet B, then just by adding one element you get a maximal chain in A or not, right? Therefore h of A minus h of A meet B, the height is only 1. Is this clear? Is this step clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because there is no element between A meet B and A. So maximal chain of A in 0 comma A and maximal chain in 0 comma A meet B, only height difference is 1. Right? Okay. That we have here, h of A minus h of A meet B is equal to 1. Now we try to take this h of, okay, now by 4 what we know is that h of A plus h of B is bigger than or equal to h of A meet B, h of A meet B plus h of A joint B, right? This implies h of A minus h of A meet B plus h of B is bigger than or equal to h of A joint B, but h of A minus h of A meet B is 1, so 1 plus h of B is bigger than or equal to h of A joint B, right? Now by using this, what we will get is that if in between B and A joint B, if there exists some C such that between B and C there is an element, okay, then what can you say about h of A joint B? What can you say about height of A joint B, height of the element? So whatever height of B we take, maximal chain, whatever height of B if we take, then for that at least there is an element in between this. There may be possible that between this C and A joint B some more elements may be possible. So therefore this is strictly bigger than h of A joint B is strictly bigger than h of B plus at least one element. Is this clear? Is this step clear? Because of B, between B and A joint B there is one element here. So when you consider a maximal chain in, when we consider a maximal chain in h of 0 comma A joint B, so let me write here so that we can understand better. This understanding is that, see, suppose you have A joint B is here, right, and B is here and C is here. In between there may be some elements also, okay. How height of B is defined? Between 0 and B, whatever maximal chain is there, right, that is defined as h of B. And how we can consider h of B, height of A joint B? Starting from 0 to A joint B, that is height of A joint B maximal chain, right? So in between this A joint B and C, there may be some more elements also we may try to put, but at least we have seen that there is one element between B and A joint B. So therefore h of A joint B, right, is bigger than h of B plus one element. Is this clear? Any problem? If at all there are 2-3 elements, then it is equal to h of B plus 2, h of B plus 3 and so on. But it is definitely strictly greater than h of B plus 1. Is this clear? Any problem? Because there is a two-step process here, is from B to C, C to A joint B. Are you following? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
This is a contradiction. Why this is a contradiction? Because we have assumed that our h of A joint B is less than or equal to 1 plus h of B. Here we are getting that it is greater than 1 plus h of B, which is a contradiction. So therefore this does not arise. That means between A and B there are no elements. That shows that B is covered by A joint